Well, good afternoon and welcome to Thinking Tuesday. You know that if it's noon on Tuesday, it's time for Thinking Tuesday. And this is a time during the week on Tuesday when we take a few minutes to just check into our thoughts, check into our thinking. What kind of mindset are we developing? Where are our thoughts taking us? Where have they taken you? Are they taking you to higher heights? Or they're keeping you in self imposed boxes where you're not achieving what you would like to achieve, where you're not growing in areas that you would like to grow. Well, this is the time to give yourself a little reminder of those dreams that you have and to see why they might not be fulfilled. Why are they being deferred? Because you know that everything begins with your thinking. And that's why on Thinking Tuesday, we've adopted the motto your mind is a garden, your thoughts are the seeds, and you can grow flowers, which are those positive thoughts, or you can grow weeds, which are those negative scarcity mindset, self limiting thoughts that keep us from being who we aspire to be and who we were meant to be, who we were created to be. So I believe very, very strongly about the power of your thoughts. Because if you change your thoughts, you can change so much of your life. It all depends on how we think. So I want to talk to you today about pain. And you might wonder, well, what is there to talk about pain? Pain is pain. It's not pleasant. And I guess for the most part, we can agree that pain is not pleasant, right? Of course. We don't like to experience pain, although sometimes we cause ourselves pain, sometimes unknowingly, sometimes knowingly, unfortunately. So I'm not talking about the type of pain that's going to hurt you, even though that sounds so contradictory. There are some pains that we want to stay away from. Yes. We don't want to bump into a wall and hurt ourselves. We don't want to run across the street before checking both ways. We don't want to do anything that's going to cause us physical or emotional harm. We really don't want to. There's some pain that we need to stay away from. There's some painful relationships that we should not be in. We should not continue to try to cultivate them because we know the answer unless both parties are willing to do some serious reflection and change. Okay? So I'm not talking about the dangerous pain, the pain that should be avoided. I'm talking about pain that can be good for us. So let me give you an example. For instance, I don't know how many of you are avid exercisers. You don't even have to be an avid exerciser, but I think everyone at some point has been involved in some level of exercise, depending on what your goal is. You might want to be more flexible. You might want to be more healthy. Might want to increase your heart rate, for instance. You might want to increase your endurance. Or you might just want to do exercises to become more flexible, get rid of those joint pains that some of us have. You might want to do exercises to sculpt your body in certain ways so that your clothes can fit better. This is the time of the year, spring, early spring, going into the summer, where you know, we want to concentrate on those things that's gonna make us feel better in how we're dressed and be able to wear some outfits, bathing suits, for instance, whatever your reason is. But whatever level of exercise, you know that when you first start to exercise or when you return to exercising after being away from it for a while, what's going to happen? You're going to feel some pain. And why are you going to feel some pain? Because you have not been using some muscles that you're going to be exercising now. You're not going to be as flexible. Your muscles are going to be resistant. But any good fitness expert would tell you, or anyone who exercises regularly will tell you, that when you feel that pain, when you feel the pain in those muscles, it doesn't mean that you should stop. In fact, that is information that you need because it tells you that you're doing something well. Because if you weren't stretching those muscles, you wouldn't be feeling pain. So you continue to work through those muscles, you don't stop. So that is good pain. That's good pain that's informing you that you're moving in the right direction. So you don't stop. You go through that cycle and you continue knowing that you're going to come out on the other side. So a week or 2 weeks go by and you begin to feel less pain. And why do you feel less pain? Because you're exercising those muscles. Muscle memory begins to develop. Your muscles are not resistant like they were before. So you get to a level of more comfort rather than discomfort, rather than the discomfort that you felt initially. So you don't want to stop at that point. You want to continue pushing through, working through those muscles. So that is good pain. So I want you to think about that and think about the fact that after you have gone through that level of pain, it really inspires you to continue further because you want to move further and do more difficult, more challenging exercises because that's how we progress. So you already have a blueprint now. You have an idea. You become familiar with the process. And so you move to a higher level and you challenge yourself with more vigorous exercises. And 3 months from now, 6 months from now, you're feeling much better. You can do more difficult exercises. You can walk longer distances. You have lost some of the weight that you had before. You find that you're, instead of being now a size 12, you're now a size 8 or maybe a size 6 or whatever it is. But you see the difference and you are not as stiff, as not as resistant. You can challenge yourself and you feel good about it because you have experienced success. So I want to use the exercise routine as I just described as a metaphor for good pain that you can and you should endure for other things that you want to be successful in. Because we know, as we just saw in the exercise, that whatever you're doing for the first time or whatever you try to go higher in your growth, there is going to be some discomfort. There's going to be some pain when you step out of your comfort zone. So I want you to think today, I want you to think differently. And this is where we cultivate flowers. We want to get rid of the weed. We don't want to see pain as the negative thing that we always thought it was. I want you to see pain now as a good thing. Think differently. Cultivate new thought. Get rid of the negative thought. We're not talking about the negative pain. We're talking about good pain when you stretch yourself in your personal growth. When you want to learn something new, when you want to adopt certain new behaviors, it's going to be uncomfortable. But do you run from it or do you embrace it? So I'm asking you to consider embracing pain today, but good pain. Because just like with the exercise, it's going to take a while before you begin to feel comfortable with that new behavior, with that new thought, with the new skills that you're trying to develop. So what have you been considering doing In what areas have you been considering growing? What new things have you begin to think about that you would like to do, but you just have not done it? And ask yourself, why is it that I have not done what I would like to do? I can see myself in the future and how that would help me or how it would improve my life, but I just can't get there. And a lot of times, what's behind it is fear. Yes, maybe fear of the process, fear of the pain, the discomfort. We're getting out of our comfort zone. But I want you to embrace that fear or embrace that pain, because just like the exercise, it's not going to continue forever. And what you want to do when you're starting something new and you're thinking through the pain, because that's what I want you to do, think through the pain, celebrate each little step, each little win that you get. Because just the mere fact that you think you became aware that you would like to do something new, that's a win. And many times we don't give ourselves credit for those little things that we do that helps to propel us forward. So consider that your first win, in that you became aware that there's something that you need to change. And then consider beginning to take some action, even if they're little steps, towards that thing that you would like to do. It's going to feel uncomfortable. You probably feel sometimes that you're not moving fast enough, but give yourself some grace. Just like your exercise, you're stretching new muscles, you're engaging in new kind of thinking that you had not done before. And this is the process in which any new learning, any new endeavor is going to take you. That's part of the process. So learn to embrace the pain, the discomfort of a new situation. And you will find, just like the exercise, as you allow yourself to go through that process, celebrate your small wins. Every small step takes you forward and takes you towards your goal. So you don't want to shrink from the discomfort. I am right now engaging in some new thoughts, some new behaviors, some new programs, some new things that I want to do, that I'm doing to grow myself. They don't all feel comfortable. They don't. But I have been learning to embrace the discomfort of those situations because, like I said in the exercise, no pain, no gain. There's no free ride, no free lunch. So do yourself a favor, begin to think differently, think through the activity, think through whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish. Recognize, and appreciate the discomfort, because just like you had to appreciate the discomfort in the exercise, the stretching, using those new muscles, you have to begin to do the same in your new learning. Embrace it as part of the process so that you become familiar with it. You'll expect it, you'll anticipate it. So this is not going to be new for you because you've experienced it at another level. And as you continue to open yourself to the experience, you find that you'll pay less attention to the discomfort. In fact, you will welcome the discomfort as you move forward. So this is just a short message for the day that all of us should be able to benefit from. Think about something that you have been wanting to do and think about what might be holding you back. If it's pain, if it's that discomfort, you're in the right place, because all of us have some level of anxiety when we're starting something new. So embrace the pain, embrace some of the anxiety. Now, if you're going to get so anxious that you can't move, then you want to begin to lessen that anxiety, bring that anxiety down, all right? By talking about, or talking to yourself, talking to someone about what is it you're trying to accomplish and how that can benefit you. When many times when we can allow ourselves to see the big picture, and we know that that's what we want to do, that we know that that's where we want to get to, it brings down some of the anxiety because we know that in the end it's going to be good. So embrace those initial feelings, because as you allow yourself to move through the process, as you allow yourself to understand the process, that these feelings are part of the process. And as you take one step at a time and celebrate any small wins, don't forget to celebrate, appreciate the progress that you're making. Might not be progress that you can see overnight. It will not be process progress that you're going to see overnight, but it doesn't mean that you're not moving in the right direction. And as you are successful on one level, you will find that you're inspired and motivated to move to the next level. So I just wanted to share that with you today, a different way of thinking, cultivating a positive mindset, trying to look at your thinking and how it's serving you. And if it's not serving you well, if it's not helping you to get to where you say you want to go, then find a way to change it. Remember, you can always reach out to me for a complimentary, uh, confidential consultation to help you with whatever challenges you might find yourself facing. If you found that this message is of value to you, then share it with someone. Share it with someone who you feel could benefit from it, because we all can benefit from new ways of thinking differently. You can find this message as well as my previous messages on my YouTube channel, which is Thinking Tuesday, Cheryl Burton. You can also reach me for the consultation that I mentioned previously through my website, drcherylburton.com. You can see all of the programs and services that I offer there on my website. You can book me to speak for your events, whatever events you're having. Just reach out to me, share with me what topic you'd like me to speak about, who is your target audience, and we could, go from there. I could learn more about what your goals are, and we could design um, a training, perhaps a workshop, perhaps, or a speech to reach the audience that you have in mind. Um, Remember to be patient with yourself. Change is not easy, but learn to think through the changes that you want to make. Have someone, you can speak to someone who is going to support you in what you want to do. There are a lot of naysayers out there, and your dream is no one else's dream but yours. And other people might not understand your dream, but find people who are there to support you, who are there to listen to you, who are there to give you good, positive feedback, and also to give you constructive criticism, because you might not have the awareness to see some things that other people can see. So keep yourself open to growing. Embrace the discomfort of new experiences. Don't shut them out, because, like I said, your thoughts are your lifeline. The way you think is the way that you will feel, and the way you feel is the way that you will do, and what you do is going to show up in your results. So if you want good results, you want to feel good, you want to have more, you want to be more, you want to do more, then it all begins right here. So I hope that this has added value to you. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at noon for Thinking Tuesday. I look forward to hearing from you through my website, drcherylburton.com, for any of those things that I've mentioned before. So take care and have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next Tuesday at noon for Thinking Tuesday. Take care. Bye for now.